Step by step on business. That's on my mama, watch me spin on me and split, now I can't feel it. We in the trap, we sold the city on my biddy. Take these diamonds off and show you how we lit it.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Before the Horn podcast. I am your host, Dino, as well. With me hosting, I got my boy, Khalil.
Yes, sir, I'm back. Let's get it. Let's talk.
And I got my boy, Dede. Y'all already know what's about to go on, man. We got 4 topics coming to y'all just like every single week. We got our Week 10 games, our recap. Y'all know we do this every week. We're going to give y'all our best games. We're going to talk about them. Then we're going to move on to our college football Week 11 recap. We got our top 5 games there that we're going to talk about. I know it was a big week for college football. Then we got our UFC 295 recap. Y'all know how we get with those. Y'all know exactly what went down on Saturday, and we're going to talk about it. And then I don't know who's been on social media. If y'all have seen lately, James Harden and the Clippers, it's looking like it ain't working out. They having a lot of drama there. We also going to talk about that one. But Dave, you kick us off with our first one.
All right, let's get it, man. Let's get into this podcast. As you already know, NFL Week 10, we're going to get right into it. Let's give our recap. We are currently doing this podcast. The Denver Broncos are in Buffalo taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football. All right, first games first, we saw a complete dominant performance by San Fran as they defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 34-3. Did San Francisco make a statement with this win over Jacksonville?
A statement. I would definitely say a statement indeed. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta see them keep doing this though. This was a great performance by pretty much the whole team. Brock Purdy actually came out there and did what he was supposed to do. But at the same time, if you look, all of his stars is back. So of course you're supposed to do that. God forbid he loses them stars again. But I mean that was a pretty nasty L from Jacksonville though. I feel like that doesn't leave a great taste in your mouth. Pause. But I mean, yeah, I really do feel like that was a statement win for San Francisco. They needed that to show the league that they're not folding right now.
I would say no. We know what the San Francisco team is capable of. We've seen them prime time go up 42, put up 42 points on the Dallas Cowboys. Their issue is not scoring a football or anything like that. Our question marks coming with Brock Purdy and being able to get it done when he's behind late in the game, and can he get it done then? That's why they lost in the last 3 games, because when they needed him to finish the drive to get them a win, he couldn't get it done. So we've seen this San Francisco team get up on teams and not let go of the lead. I think Brock Purdy is very good at managing the game and not messing the game up when they get a lead. So that's not the problem. The problem is, can they win the game when everything's going bad? That's the biggest question mark. That's not going to get answered in this game, especially in the blowout game. So, no, I'm kind of disappointed in the Jags and what I've seen from the Jags. They got out slow and they just pretty much got outplayed. So I think this is more of an issue on the Jags not being ready to play more than question marks on the 49ers. We know what the 49ers is. We just got to see them do it when the rubber needs to meet the road in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm with Khalil on this one. I'm not going to lie. They made somewhat of a statement, but honestly, this was just a bad game by Jacksonville. And, Khalil's MVP, Trevor Lawrence, I hope you guys didn't forget that. He played abysmal. Now, this is a top 3 to 5 defense in the NFL. In my opinion, this defense is great, but they made Trevor Lawrence look like he's a bottom-tier quarterback in this game. And he had 2 turnovers. ETN, he didn't run the ball well as well. Christian Kirk, he had over 100 yard receiving, but besides him, everybody else was pretty much a no-show. T-Law, besides the 2 picks, he also lost a fumble. Kirk lost a fumble as well. And his defense really couldn't stop that San Fran offense. Now, on the other end, yes, the Niners just came off of a bye. Before that bye, they were playing bad. All fingers were pointed at Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy actually had a really good game. But like Dino said as well, all his stars are back. Everybody's healthy. He got Debo back. McCaffrey looking pretty healthy. The defense is looking even more healthy. They added Chase Young at the deadline. He had a half of a sack. Bolton Hargrave also had a sack and a half apiece. Like, this is good. This is really good. But honestly, we need to see more out of San Fran. Yes, they had a blowout win over this team, but I agree with Khalil. Like, we want to see how they perform when they're down. And when they're down, they haven't been able to call back into the games. So, Mark, I got a quick question to y'all before we move on to the next game. How far do y'all think San Francisco is going to go in the playoffs with how they've been playing this year so far?
I mean, they're a top 5 team as long as Brock Purdy play good. I mean, we all seen it. That's exactly what Khalil said. Like, We know what they do, but you know, as long as he play good, make statements like I said, they could go pretty far. They're a scary team.
Yeah, I mean, their ceiling is a Super Bowl. Do I think they make it to the Super Bowl? In my personal opinion, no. But I mean, they have a chance to it. Like I said, it's really gonna come down to when the game is tight, when these playoff games get tight, and you need a game-winning drive, you need to take your team down the field and score points. Can Brock Purdy get it done? Personally, I don't think so. I haven't seen it done yet. So I've seen it done. Like that has to be answered. But this team has the making to make it all the way to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. It's just questions about the quarterback, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. Another week, another game-winning drive by C.J. Stroud. Whew. This guy, he definitely got to be in a top 10 quarterback conversation. If he's not, lay off the drugs. But Houston, they went into Cincinnati. They defeated Cincinnati Bengals 30-27 with a game-winning field goal by Matt Amendola. How far can C.J. Stroud take this team?
I mean, first of all, like we said last cast, it's going to be a great game as it was. This was a great game. And to me, CJ Stroud could probably take this team pretty far. I'm not going to lie. They got a good supporting young cast around him. They have all young players. That offense is young. The defense is young. It's a young head coach when you talk about like how long he's been coaching. But this is a young team with a lot of upside. It looked like they're finally finding their niche, finding what they're good at, finding where these players fit at. And it's going to look good for them in the future. I'm not going to lie. Especially if CJ keep playing, it's going to look real good for them in the future. I mean, the Bengals didn't play too bad of a games either. They gave up that game with them 2 picks. I'm not going to lie. Even though CJ did throw a bad pick at the end of the game, that could have cost it. Them picks is really what decided the game.
When you say how far can CJ Stroud take this team, I don't think I personally don't think they're good enough to really make any noise or be a legit contender or anything like that. I got them more of as a team that can probably backdoor they way into the 7th seed or something like that. I think they're right in the 7th seed right now, but they're scrappy, and this team got a lot of trust in number 7. When they're not scared to put the ball in his hands, they're not trying to protect him or anything like that. And it's very good when your running back goes for 150 yards as well. That opens a lot in the passing game as well, so that helped them out major. I think I put this more on the Bengals defense not being able to really stop anything. They pretty much got to move the ball as much as they want. CJ Stroud went for over 350 yards passing, and then you give up 188 yards in a run game. Like that's a recipe to get beat. And Joe Burrow turned the football over twice. You just can't have stuff like that happen to you, especially in close games like that. CJ Stroud did turn the ball over 3 times himself, so you definitely got to get that cleaned up as well. But I think this Houston team can be a spoiler for a lot of people. I don't think they're ready to win yet. They're a little ways away, in my opinion, a couple pieces away here and there, offensively and defensively, before this team becomes, a team that we're looking out for in the AFC South with Jacksonville.
CJ Stroud can take this team pretty far. I just don't see it happening this year. This is still a very young, raw, inexperienced team. Now, don't get me wrong. They surprised a lot of people. I mean, this team has 5 wins already. I projected them to have 4, and they already beat me out. Pause. So it's like they're doing great with a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach. Got a lot of young talent around this team. But all in all, with this game overall, this is a great game. A lot of turnovers. We had 2 from Joe Burrow. We had 3 from CJ Stroud. And honestly, Tyler Boyd lost his game for the Cincinnati Bengals. That drop touchdown with that wide open slant route that he ran in the end zone, he dropped it. It was very crucial. Bengals had to tackle on 3. That tied the game up. And then CJ Stroud leads the game-winning field goal drive. CJ Stroud, on the other hand, he played great besides that one costly interception that Dennis mentioned at the end. That could have definitely let the Bengals win this game. But again, Tyler Boyd dropped a touchdown pass. But Devin Singletary definitely helped out CJ Stroud running the rock, just like Khalil said. And Noah Brown has been coming on really great for Houston. Him and Dalton Schultz are CJ Stroud's great weapons. And don't forget about Tank Dell. He's been putting on as well. So honestly, Stroud could take the team pretty far. I just don't see it happening like probably his first year, 2 years in the NFL. But come year 3, year 4, Houston's going to be a problem in the AFC. I'm just telling you all that right now. All right, on to the next one. An AFC North showdown that went to the wire as Lamar and the Ravens, they collapsed in the end. Cleveland Browns, they defeated the Ravens 33-31. Are Lamar and the Ravens potential frauds?
I mean, I think that's a little too fast to say. You know what I'm saying? It was a nasty loss at the end. Yes, they was up. They had this game in the bag to the fourth quarter, and then they started folding. Yes, Lamar threw the pick six late, and it was a bad one. Okay. I mean, it happens. It happens to the best of them. I'm going to be honest with you. But frauds, I don't think they're frauds. The Cleveland Browns are still a pretty a decent football team. They're not bad at all. They're a 6-3 team. They're still pretty good. It's not like they lost to the Cardinals or the Panthers. Like there's still good teams playing each other. It's still a division matchup. I don't think they're frauds at all. Still think it was a pretty, decent comeback by Cleveland.
I can't accept that, man. I need the same
Here we go.
energy. I need the same energy you give Dak Prescott. I need the
Turn
same
me up.
energy you
Turn me
give
up,
any
Lil.
other quarterback.
Turn me up,
Any
Lil.
turning over the football, everything else. I stop defending them. I get that you like him, but we can't defend him. The turnovers that he's been doing.
That's his MVP
Bro,
candidate.
fraud, bro? Come on, bro.
That's his MVP candidate. He gonna defend him.
What do you mean? He turned the ball over twice in this game and a pick six. He's been putting the football on the ground, rushing the football. It's not like he's been protecting the football. If this was Dak Prescott, if he would have threw that pick six, y'all would have been all over him. So I need that same energy when it comes to these other quarterbacks when they're turning over the ball the same way. I get that you like him, but he has to be better.
For Dak at this
And
point.
I get it. I get it. They're 7-3. They're winning football games. But when the time comes, it's going to happen when you expect it, when you need it the most. When the playoff games count and them turnovers is worth 10 times what they're worth right now, it's going to come back to bite you, especially those fumbles. He's been fumbling the ball a lot. They're fortunate to recover some of those. If they don't, we could be talking about a whole nother game. Like, there's no reason why, Cleveland should have even had a chance to win this game. They were rolling against this team. I think it was 31-17. They were rolling against this team, and then you throw a pick six. You let them get back in rhythm because Deshaun Watson looked bad in the first half. He looked a lot better in the second half.
Looked terrible.
That game should have been over. There's no reason why the Cleveland Browns should have even been in this game. Should have even put up 33 points to, beat y'all. So like I said, Lamar has to be better. I can't accept it. And I've been saying this before. Like he's been putting the ball on the ground. Be aware, and the wins start to turn to losses real quick. So he has to be better if they actually want to do something in that AFC, which is very, very deep, as you can see.
Frauds, I wouldn't go as deep as saying that either. I just feel like they fold when it matters. But you are 100% correct, Khalil. Lamar has to be better. The turnovers, and I've said this to y'all as well. Why are we not talking about Lamar Jackson fumbling the ball as of lately a lot? I've said this. But, hey, we get on Dak. We can get on Jalen Hurts. If Zach Wilson was doing this, y'all be dogging Zach Wilson. So I agree with Khalil. Josh Allen. Y'all know I don't like Josh Allen. Y'all know I don't like him. He's a turnover machine. Most turnover in the league since 2018. But, again, he's elite. But anyway, yeah, honestly, Deshaun Watson played horrible in the first half. He played horrible. I was like, dude, I'm about to sell my stock all the way in Deshaun Watson. Y'all know I'm a DW4 fan, but he put the team on his back. Honestly, it wasn't really him putting the team on his back. It was a defense of Cleveland helping Deshaun Watson out, put him in good field position to help him get this Cleveland a W. But the Ravens just folded in the fourth quarter. I mean, that interception by Lamar Jackson, I'm not going to 100% blame him because it was a defensive lineman that jumped in the air and swatted the ball out. Those are just the unlucky interceptions, but they still count towards the stat sheet. But all in all, the Ravens, they just played bad in the second half. They collapsed. The Browns scored 16 in the fourth quarter. It was just awful. And this is a game that the Ravens needed to win, honestly, to stay atop of the AFC North. They have kind of a small game ahead of Cleveland, but as right now, this division, everybody's still in the playoffs. But still, Ravens, they should have made a statement by beating this team. They folded. On to the next one. We saw a shootout in LA. It was crazy, man. The Detroit Lions, they hang on. They defeated the Los Angeles Chargers with a Riley Patterson game-winning field goal by a score of 41-38. And my question to y'all is, how serious are we going to take the Detroit Lions moving forward?
I think I'm going to take them just as serious as I take them now. I'm going to be honest. Their team, they're pretty good. Contenders, no. Best, you put them as a top 5 team earlier today. I mean, I don't think they're nowhere near that. I'm gonna be honest, not really nowhere near, but they're around 8 for me. I got some other teams that I feel like could take them down. Lackluster schedule is really the reason why they're 7-2. So, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna take them just as serious as I take them now. They're a pretty good team, but I don't feel like they stack up against the best.
I'm gonna take them as serious as I take a chess coat, man. Something you gotta pay attention to, but I'm not worried at the end of the day. I think this team has, a favorable schedule, so the record is going to look a lot better than what it really is. But I don't think this team is a team that's competing in the NFC. When you think about the best teams in the NFC, it's still Eagles, Cowboys, and 49ers for me. It's a three-team race, in my opinion. Lions is scrappy. Lions got some very good talent. When you talk about Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery, they rush the ball, including a little bit from Amon-Ra for over 200 yards. That helps. And then Jared Goff went for 333 and 2 touchdowns, so that also helps. When you look at this Chargers defense, it's not lived up to what it should be all year. When you think about the names that's on the defense with the Joey Borsas, Khalil Max, the Derwin James, Asante Samuels Jr. They don't play at the caliber as the names show
Not
on
at all.
paper. So that's part of the issue right there. I mean, when your offense put up 38 points, your quarterback goes 4 touchdowns to 1 interception, over 300 yards. That's a game you should win. But when your defense can't get stops, that's the issue. So I don't think the Chargers is that good of a football team to begin with. But Lions is going to have some quality, like a lot of wins on the schedule just because of the lackluster schedule that they have. And I think once it comes playoff time and they run into one of these real legit teams, the talent gap is going to show.
Honestly, yes, I did have Detroit as a top 5 team prior to this. You can still argue they're top 5, but not in the top 5, probably on the cusp of top 5, but they're 7-2. You gotta respect that. Yes, they have
They got a
a
top
favorable
5 record. Yeah.
they have a favorable schedule. But I mean, last year the Eagles had a cupcake schedule, and people kept throwing that around, but they ended up going to the Super Bowl.
But they
So I mean,
didn't.
but I understand that. But I'm just saying the Lions, you gotta respect. I mean, they just put up 41. I know they put up 41 on a horrible defense, on a horrible coach team, in my opinion. But you got still, they put up 41, they won. They're 7-2. But Jared Goff had a really good game. I'm not gonna lie, he had a really great game. David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs, they went crazy in the backfield. That duo. I mean, Montgomery had over 100 yards rushing. Jameer Gibbs had over 75 yards rushing, but they each had a touchdown apiece. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, y'all mentioned it. He's a dog. He's been a dog. But honestly, I mentioned this on Friday's episode. Both of the defense are sus, and the Chargers defense is even more sus. Just like Khalil said, they got some stars in that defensive side of football, but they all can't put it together for some reason, and I don't get it. It starts at the head coach. I keep saying this. Brandon Staley is not going to make it to 2024 with Los Angeles. He's going to get fired. He's not going to be in LA next year. It's bad. I mean, Justin Herbert's a great quarterback. He had a turnover in his game, but Justin Herbert did everything he could to keep the Chargers in his game. They made his game down to the wire with the Lions, and the Lions should honestly put this game away earlier, but they couldn't. Don't forget about Keenan Allen. He turned the clock back yet again. He had almost 200 yards receiving. He had 2 touchdowns. Quentin Johnson and Jalen Guyton added a touchdown as well, but this Chargers team just can't stay out their way. Honestly, they're not that good of a football team. They have a lot of talent on paper, but they just can't put it together. But for the Lions, you just take them as serious as you can. You don't have to take them as like hella serious, but you got to put some respect on Detroit a little bit. I'm not going to lie. All right, next game we're going to talk about, it also came down to the wire. Geno led the Seahawks to a game-winning field goal by Jason Myers as they defeated the Washington Commanders 29-26. Can Seattle win the division based on how they have been performing this year?
The only way they win the division is if they beat the 49ers, if you ask me. And the 49ers got to have another trash loss other than the Seahawks. Other than that, not really. I don't really see them doing anything too good, to be honest with you. Like, their wins, they have not had a single dominant win other than maybe the Giants, but that was, what, a 27-10 win? Like, so it wasn't as dominant.
24-3.
24-3, yeah. It was close to that. But it wasn't as dominant. You don't really see them being as dominant. You don't really think that – I don't think this is a contender team. I don't really think that they even have what it takes to stack up against the 49ers, who is number 1 in their division. They're number 2 in their division right now. And if you look at their schedule moving forward, they have the Rams, who's a scrappy team, the Niners, the Cowboys, the Niners again, and then the Eagles. I'm going to be honest with you. They're not winning their division. There's no way they're going through these next 5 games without at least 3 L's. It's not happening. I'm going to be honest. With the way they've been playing, I don't see it happening.
They have a chance to win the division when you look at, who they got coming up. You still got to play San Francisco twice. They are tied for first in the division. with 49ers right now. I think they actually do have the edge over them because of the conference record, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. But when you look at what they got left, they do not have an easy schedule at all. Good thing is you kind of do control your own fate, given that you do play San Francisco twice. The issue with this Seahawks team is just like you never know like what to expect. We've seen this offense be able to move the ball, look electric with the receivers that they got, Lockett, Metcalf, JNS. You know, I like the running back, what's his name from Michigan State? I can't think. Drawing a blank right now, but
Kenneth
Kenneth
Walker.
Walker the third.
Kenneth Walker, yeah, I like him too, coming out the backfield. Then they got some quality weapons. It's also like, what are you going to get from Geno? Sometimes Geno look good. Sometimes Geno revert back to the old Geno. So you never know. This is a team that can compete. I did have them in the playoffs. I did not have them winning the division. But when you look at the landscape of everything, like I said, they have a chance to control their fate. They have what 4 games of divisional games left. So essentially, they do control their fate. It just comes down to can they get it done when they need to get it done and minimize the turnovers and put points on the board when they get down in the red zone. Some of their issues have been not being able to put touchdowns on the board. They settling for 3 a lot. So they got a couple things to clean up, but they do have a legit chance to win this division still.
They can win a division. I don't see that happening though with their schedule coming up. I mean, like you said, they got a lot of divisional games. Who knows how those games can go? And then you got the Eagles on the schedule. You still got other teams on the schedule. Seattle, like you said, they haven't really had any dominant wins besides that win against the Giants. They won 24-3. That was a 21-point win. Any other game, they either got beat, blown out, or they won closely. Let's be real. Now, it's going to come down to them and the San Francisco 49ers, who they will see on Thanksgiving Day. But this game came down to the wire against a Washington team that's very scrappy. Don't get me wrong, Washington is a scrappy team. But let's be real. I mean, Washington's defense, they're good. They're a really good team. But Sam Howell really put the team on his back offensively. Like, we got to start talking about Sam Howell. I mean, he's top 5 in league in passing. He's not a great quarterback by any means, but I feel like Eric Bieniemy is Duffy helping him grow and develop.
I don't know.
I'm being real.
I mean, bro, he threw the ball 44 times. You better throw over 300 yards.
Some quarterbacks,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true, but some quarterbacks sometimes can't even reach that.
Pat Mahomes
but, I mean,
is throwing for 800 yards with 44 throws.
Sam Howell, he kept the team in this game. I mean, it honestly just came down to Seattle just being a better team at the end of the day, going down and kicking that game-winning field goal. But I don't think Seattle's going to win the division how they've been playing, especially with their schedule coming up. I think it's going to be the 49ers. But, again, who knows how those divisional games are going to go for Seattle with their remaining the schedule. All right, let's get into the last game, fellas. Saw the rocket scientist, Josh Dobbs, man. The Vikings have been on a roll ever since Justin Jefferson went down for injury, ever since Kirk Cousins has left with injury towards Achilles. They defeated the New Orleans Saints 27-19. My question is you guys, is Josh Dobbs the answer for the Minnesota Vikings moving forward?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. See, I don't speak too highly on Josh Dobbs, like, you know, like he's really a premier quarterback, like he's like a top passer or something like that. But if you want to be real, he's looking like the answer. This is the same football team that Kirk was manning, and they couldn't get a win. I mean, this guy comes in and he's there for what, 2 weeks, and he gives you 2 wins already. I mean, he went in, he actually dotted up a top 5 defense in the first half. He had 220 of passing yards in the first half against a top 5 defense. I mean, he's not the best quarterback. He's not, but he's playing damn good for the Minnesota Vikings right now, bro. He's looking like their answer. I'm gonna be honest, he's looking like their answer right now, especially with what you dealing with in injuries. He doesn't even have the best player on the team on the field right now, and he's resulting in wins. Like, imagine when he gets the best player on the team on the field. Like, I feel like it's gonna make a big difference, bro. If he plays the way he keeps playing, I don't know. I might see Kirk might have a problem with coming back.
I'm gonna say no. Don't see a world where Josh Dobbs take the spot over Kirk Cousins. Yes, he's been playing very solid. Yes, he's been creating a lot with his plays. But you gotta remember, Kirk Cousins had this offense rolling too. Right before he got injured, he ran off 4 of the last 5 games straight after starting 0-3. So it's not like this team wasn't rolling before him that like they were searching for an answer. Kirk Cousins, even earlier in the season, was not the problem. The problem was they couldn't protect the football. When you look back at the Eagles game, that's a game they could have won. They turned over football over 4 times. Like, so it was never Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is the issue. Kirk Cousins was winning games.
He wasn't
the best receiver as well. What I would say though, Josh Dobbs is giving them something different. when you look at what he can do with his legs compared to Kirk Cousins, who just does it passing. But even like there's times in the game is like, yes, he had a very good second quarter, but he essentially didn't really do nothing in the second half. Going against a actual good team, something better may happen. Like you may have to see him actually win a game. Put the pressure on him. It's I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's a lot easier to come in and win a game when you don't have any pressure on you. The first game he stepped in, he just played football. That's what it was. It's not like this team got the chance to game plan for him, how they going to use them. This game they got out to a huge lead and just never looked back. Saints did not look good on offense, so they really put no pressure on him. But no, I don't think he's the answer. I don't think he is. He's a very good quarterback, very scrappy quarterback, but no, he's not better than Kirk Cousins. I don't see him taking Kirk Cousins' job.
I didn't say he was better than Kirk Cousins. I said it's working for him. Whatever they doing with him is working. And it's if he all I'm saying is if he keeps doing it, bro. Like I'm calling it an early shot, but I'm saying if he keeps doing what he's doing, I can see it.
I don't see it.
I disagree.
I don't think he's better than Kirk.
I disagree.
I like Kirk. But the way I see it, I mean, I'm always go with a QB that's bringing me wins.
I disagree, man. Josh Dobbs, like Khalil says, very scrappy quarterback. He's very resilient. He's going to play to win. He had a really good game this game. The first half. Second half, he really slowed down. Saints almost got themselves back in this game. But, I mean, when Derek Carr went down, Derek Carr was playing solid before he got hurt. I'm not going to lie. He's playing really solid, but Saints just couldn't get nothing going. They couldn't stay in the game. And the Vikings jumped out to a big early lead. But Josh Dobbs, he had over 300 total yards, all-purpose yards, and he had 2 total touchdowns. Hawkinson really helped out big time in the receiving department for Josh Dobbs. Hawkinson had 134 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. But for the Saints, man, bro, I hope what's Derek Carr's injury status come next week? Honestly, because if Jameis is going forward, I'm afraid for the Saints.
They're on a bye this upcoming week. They said his shoulder's okay. He's in concussion protocol. So he has 2 weeks to be healthy. I think he'd be back by that game.
Okay, because I was about to say, man, I forgot Saints are going to be on a bye. But I was about to say, if Jameis is going to be a starting quarterback for the next couple of weeks, y'all are losing this division. Don't care what y'all say. Yes, Jameis Winston, he came in through 2 touchdowns, but he also on back-to-back drives through 2 horrible picks. And
they're going to lose it regardless.
Look,
Jameis is going to be Jameis.
Even his 2 touchdowns.
They're going to lose it with or without Jameis.
What's your response to that, sir? He not responding to you. He not mess with you, bro. But back to the question at hand. Honestly, Josh Dobbs, he did really good against his top 5 defense. You got to respect the Saints defense with Dennis Allen at the helm, defensive-minded head coach. The Saints defense is going to be great. But they also lost Marshawn Lattimore and Michael Thomas, as head coach Dennis Allen reported, have significant injuries moving forward. So if they lose those 2 guys, especially Marshawn on the defensive side of the ball, like how far can the Saints go? But that's not the question at hand. The question at hand is Josh Dobbs the answer for the Vikings? I'm going to say no. Kirk Cousins had the team in a great position before he tore his Achilles. Like Khalil said, it wasn't Kirk Cousins' fault. It was them turning the ball over and how they managed the clock. They couldn't get it right. But the Vikings have definitely found their footing lately as they're 6-4 and they're second in their division. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for NFL Week 10. Let us know in the comment section what y'all think about this past week. If there's any games that we did not mention, leave it in the comment section below as well so we can comment on those games. Also, let us know what you guys are looking forward to for Week 11. The season's dwindling down, man. We're almost at the 3/4 quarters of the way. So give us your opinions on Week 10. On to the next topic. We got college football, Week 11. The season's almost over. A great week. We're going to get into some games that we thought were important. Let's jump straight into it. First games first, Pac-12 showdown as the Oregon Ducks defeated the USC Trojans 36-27.
I'm going to be honest. I feel like this game honestly went exactly the way I thought it would. We're Oregon on top. USC, they've been struggling all year defensively. We know what their offense is going to bring every time. They have a high-power offense with a stud quarterback, with some stud players in general. Marshawn Lloyd, I feel like he doesn't get a lot of talk just because he doesn't get as much carries because of the offense he's in. But what he does with them carries, bro, he actually produces for that offense. So I feel like you get that man some more carries, bro, he's gonna do some great things. But other than that, we know what they got at the wide receiver position. So they're gonna do what they're gonna do on offense. It's that defense that gets shredded every time. You let Bo Nix go out there and throw for 400. Not like he's not capable of doing that, because Bo Nick's been
But
throwing for over 350 damn near every game. He's been doing his
honestly,
thing. He's been killing it all season. A big reason on why he's a Heisman candidate. I mean, look at what this Oregon team does, bro. This is a good football team. I said it before. I think this was last cast. I don't think he was on Lil when I said it, and I said my bold prediction is that Oregon and Washington both make it into the college football playoffs as a 3 and 4 spot. And if you look at their resume, I feel like it can happen, bro. I really do. We're gonna talk about that more down the road, more down the line, but I feel like it could really happen, bro. But going back to this game, man, just watching the game, they kept it competitive. I feel like USC kept it competitive damn near the whole game, but they couldn't stop the big play. It just they was getting shot down the field every single time, and Bo Nix was just killing them. And that's just what their USC defense has shown all season. That's just why they can't win football games, because they can't stop the big play. They can't stop a nosebleed, bro.
I don't agree with the fact that I don't think two Pac-12 teams are going to make it. I just don't think it's going to line up. Just given the way everything's shaking up, there's going to be a lot of one-loss teams that you can argue that can get in. You know what it is.
You don't hear my reasoning. I'm gonna give you my reasoning though. I'm gonna give you my reasoning when you're done.
But I'm gonna be honest. If Oregon was to find a way and had beat Washington at Washington, I think we would be talking about Oregon as one of the best teams in the nation. I still think they are. When you look at their roster, they're a very complete team. They're one of the more complete teams in college football. I think they're right up there with the Georgias, the Michigans, the Ohio States, and stuff like that. So the only issue for them is the one loss. Is the reason why they're the highest ranked one loss team, and their only loss is a 3-point loss on the road against the number 5 ranked team right now. I think who should be the number 4 ranked team. I think they're better than. I think Washington has a better resume than Florida State. Florida State really hasn't played anybody, but we could get into that at another time. But when you look at this team, like Bo Nix has been playing very, very well. I think he's the leading candidate for the Heisman right now at plus 100. The last time I looked, he put up over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns against this very bad, USC SC defense. I like Troy Franklin. Tez Johnson had him a big game as well. Bucky Irvin, I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does in a run game when we talk about national exposure of the running backs. Jordan James is another quality running back as a number 2 running back. I don't think he gets enough credit. And then when you look at his defense, the thing that we've seen with SC is that they put up a lot of points. They held this SC offense to 27 points, which is pretty good for seeing what SC offense has been putting up. The SC team their problem has essentially been a defense. They put up a lot of points, but they can't stop nobody on the other end. They only held them to 27, so I think that's a win. Caleb Williams went for 291, only 1 touchdown. So I think that was very good. They didn't run the ball too well as well. Like I said, bro, I think Oregon is a very legit team. I have them winning the Pac-12 championship and making it to the playoffs. And, they're a team to watch in the playoffs when you look at the landscape of college football right now.
Honestly, Khalil definitely hit the nail on the head. If Oregon didn't lose to Washington earlier this year, Oregon might be in the top 4, in my opinion. I mean, I think they have like you said, I think they have a better resume than Florida State. Florida State is just undefeated. They haven't played nobody in the ACC. And Florida State has also had some close winning games, like recently. I mean, this past week, they had a close win. But Oregon definitely handled business at home. They stifled USC only to 27 points. That's a win, like Khalil said as well. Bo Nix is playing really good. He's playing really good. And y'all know I'm not the biggest Bo Nix fan. I don't think he's that good, but he's been playing great this year. And I think, honestly, he's leading the Heisman race as we speak right now. I think he's made that jump over Michael Penix Jr. due to Washington's success of the last couple of weeks since that Oregon game. I think Oregon kind of broke Washington down. But yeah, honestly, and on USC's end, they just can't stop a cold. They can't do nothing. Their defense is just that bad. Like Dino said, you let Bo Nix dodge up for over 400. And Bucky Irvin, he had a great game running the rock as well. Troy Franklin, he's just a dog. 2 catches for almost 150 in the touchdown. And then Chaz Johnson, 7 for 126 and 2 touchdowns. Terrence Ferguson had 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. So Bo Nix definitely spread the ball out to his top 3 receivers. But honestly, USC, we know they can't stop a cold. But honestly, I can see Oregon sneaking into the top 4. If they could beat Washington in the Pac-12 championship, they're getting into the college football playoff. But again, that's later down the line. We'll get to that when we get to that.
And the only reason I wanted to tell you that, though, and I didn't bring it up earlier, is because if Oregon wins out, that means that gives them 4 ranked wins. If Washington wins out but loses to Oregon, that gives them 4 ranked wins. They both have 4 ranked wins. The only other team that has 4 ranked wins is Georgia.
Now I get
I
that.
think that's worthy to get in.
No, I get that. It's just when you look at it, either Ohio State or Michigan is going to get in. Whoever wins that game, they're going to win the conference championship. Not really worried about Iowa or anything like that. So it's the Big Ten West at the end of the day. But when you look at the landscape as well, there's a space for Alabama to win out, and then we're looking at a one-loss Georgia team and a one-loss Bama team. That's kind of hard too. You have a Florida State
That's
team.
the SEC championship already. That's already been set.
Yeah, you got a Florida State team who, if they went out, it's kind of hard to, argue undefeated, even though, they really haven't played nobody. I think their biggest test is going to be Louisville. So we're going to see how that goes. But, I mean, I could see a picture for two Pac-12 teams. I don't think it happens, though. I wish it could, but I don't know if it will.
Remember, we said like about 4 casts ago that we could see our first college football playoffs without an SEC team. So, I mean, it's looking like that's not going to happen just because Georgia didn't lose yet and Alabama's on a high streak. But I don't know, bro. This is a lot of good teams, bro. A lot of teams that's deserving. This going to be tough. This last year of the 14 college football is going to be tough.
All right, on to the next game, ladies and gentlemen. We got a Big Ten showdown as Michigan went into Happy Valley. They defeated Penn State 24-15.
Penn State. You really, really disappointed me, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
They did.
I mean, I can't say what a bad offensive day because Blake Corum went out there and gave you 175 on the ground against Penn State, who had damn near the best rushing defense in the nation. I don't even know how they let this happen, but neither one of these quarterbacks played good. I mean, J.J. McCarthy damn near didn't even throw the ball at all, so I can't even say that, like, he played bad or anything. But, I mean, Drew Aller, he really didn't come out to play at all. I'm sorry. He didn't come out to play, and that ultimately resulted in Penn State's loss, bro. All the stalling out. They couldn't get nothing going on offense. I mean, it was bad, bro. And then they couldn't stop a nosebleed on defense when it came to the run game. Blake Corum was killing them. And I'm not gonna lie, I had to turn off the game a couple of times. Like, bro, this is just ridiculous. And when they put the dagger on the coffin at the end of the game, that pretty much was it.
Michigan showed why they are the best team in the nation, in my personal opinion, at this point in time. The biggest question.
Anything to go against me.
No, the biggest thing against Michigan was they haven't played anybody and everything. Whatever.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna say, how can you be the best team in the nation? You didn't play nobody.
Listen, but explain. We just seen them play a top 10 team. But
I said 175. I meant 145. I'm sure.
But
Blake Corum.
When you look at the landscape of everything that happened, imagine you on the way to Dodge Park to go play Penn State, and on the plane ride, you found out that your coach is not going to be coaching. So, they had a lot of reasons to be down. And then you go into this game and you couldn't get anything going in the pass game. So what do? They trot out extra linemen and they play hard-nosed, smash-mouth football. And they said, line up, and they said, stop us. And they couldn't stop us at the end of the day. They showed that they can win in multiple ways. Because you got to remember, J.J. McCarthy is having a very good season. This is a guy who's in the Heisman race. He's had Heisman talk. But they realized early, oh, wow, they're not going to be able to pass the ball, so we're just going to run the football, and I want you to stop me. Penn State couldn't stop him. J.J. McCarthy only threw the ball 8 times. That's a Heisman candidate throwing the ball only 8 times. That's just saying the passing game is not going. Forget it. We're going to trot out extra linemen. We're going to run the ball, and I want you to stop us. And Penn State couldn't do anything to stop them in all reality. And when you look at the Penn State side, they just fired their offensive coordinator. I think part of their problem as well is they don't use their playmakers as well as they should. I think Nick Singleton and Allen should be featured just a little bit more. They should do a little bit. They should run a couple more plays that help Drew Aller, do what he's best at, throwing over the middle, throwing timing routes, turning the ball, play action, stuff like that. So they haven't played to their strength. So this is the same landscape that we've been seeing for the last few years. Penn State is a very good football team, very respectable football team, but they just can't. They're 10-2 team at the end of the day because they can't beat Ohio State and Michigan. And Michigan got their first high quality win against a top 10 opponent, and they went there and showed you how versatile this team can be. And you gotta remember, Penn State defense is one of the best defenses in the nation. when we look at the
Oh,
landscape.
where was the versatility? That was a
They just ran
running
the ball.
team going into the season.
They just ran the ball.
Yeah, it was a running team going into the season. They just ran all over Penn State.
Not
There ain't no
really.
versatility,
JJ
bro. You take
McCarthy's been
away
in the
that run
Heisman
game, I
race.
want to see him do it all passing.
JJ
I
McCarthy.
was just talking about this game. I'm not talking about the season. I was just talking about the game.
No, I'm just talking about in the season. Like JJ McCarthy's been very good as a passer, and
Yeah, he's been super efficient. I'm not taking that away from him. He's been doing his thing. But I'm saying, like, they're more known as a running team, bro. We know what that two-headed monster in the backfield do. I mean, Blake Corum also has 18 touchdowns on the season right now after Penn State.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying is though, like they had the wherewithal to just say, hey, yeah, I get it. JJ McCarthy's been balling, but that's not what we go. Like they can pass the ball and run the ball at the end of the day. They could do either or, in my opinion. So
if JJ McCarthy only throwing the ball 8 times and Michigan running the ball 46 times, mainly Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum, they had 36 collective carries. They ran the ball down Penn State's throat. And Penn State got one of the best defenses and run defenses in the college football. And like Khalil said, they said, let's go. Stop us. And Penn State couldn't stop them. I mean, Blake Corum, like Dennis said, 18 touchdowns on the year all alone. That's crazy. And they couldn't stop Michigan's run game. They couldn't stop Michigan in general. I don't know what was going on with Penn State. That offense just looked bad, especially Drew Aller. He did not look good, in my opinion. When Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton aren't going, this offense is going to go. And we know this already because, I mean, their receivers, only the highest receiver had 2 receptions. That's it. And Tyler Warren, Cephas, and Theo Johnson, they all had 2 receptions apiece. It's like Drew Allen couldn't get nothing on this Michigan defense. And Michigan just honestly played smash mouth football. They just ran the ball and stopped them on defense. That's all they had to do this game. Like Khalil said also, they got their first quality win of the year. They finally beat a ranked good team. Hopefully they can do it moving forward. But we already know Michigan, they're one of the best teams in the nation. But honestly, this is just really bad on Penn State. And I feel stupid for picking Penn State in an upset. All right, on to the next one. We saw a dominant win by Georgia as they defeated Ole Miss 52-17.
Now, look, I'm going to be honest. This was an entertaining football game until the second half. But the second half hit, I mean, Georgia really ran away with it. I was watching, bro, and I was like, yeah, bro. I remember I picked Ole Miss for the upset. I knew some team was going to upset Georgia. I thought it was going to be Ole Miss, man. Bro, I'm not going to lie. They made me look real crazy. So watching this first half, I'm like, hey, Ole Miss fighting back. You know what I'm saying? They fighting back. The second half, I don't know what happened, bro. I don't know what happened. Georgia got out in front. They went down on the first drive. They scored a touchdown. After that, it was just rolling. They was just tearing them up. And it was over with. Jackson Dart couldn't get nothing going. The running game just completely just ended. You know what I mean? It was bad for them. Georgia went and did exactly what Georgia football does for the last 3 seasons, and that's just purely dominate. And it shows why they're the number 2 team in the nation.
Well, I wasn't on the last podcast to give my predictions or anything like that, but I did have Georgia winning this game. And the game played out pretty much how I thought it would. You know, Ole Miss does have, a very solid offense. I like Jackson Dart. I like Quinshawn Judkins. Then they got some quality pieces on that offense. But when you really look at it, that defense really is not all that good. The biggest question mark was how is they going to be able to stop this Georgia offense? And they couldn't at all at the end of the day. And that's really what it came down to. Carson Beck had him a very good game, 306, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. You do get Brock Bowers back in a fold. So, he get his best weapon back in a fold. So that also is going to help him out. And then they ran for over 300 yards on the ground alone. Like, this defense cannot get a stop. You give up over 600 yards of total offense. That's a way to lose, especially in Athens. Like, I did not think Ole Miss was going to walk into Athens and just upset Georgia. I didn't see that happening, which it didn't. Georgia is still a very good football team. They have a test coming up this week against Tennessee. I think will be a very good game as well. But that Ole Miss defense just is not good enough to stop that Georgia offense.
Honestly, I picked Georgia for this game. I did not, in no way in hell, think that Ole Miss was going to go into Georgia and beat freaking Georgia. Like Khalil said, we let up over 600 yards of total offense in Sanford Stadium in Georgia, in Athens. You're not winning the game. Jackson Dart did not even play that good. Quinshawn Judkins, he had a good game. Just wish he had more yards on the ground. Honestly, nobody could really get open for receiving wise for Ole Miss. It was a really bad game in the receiving department. But for Georgia, Carson Beck, I mean, he's a solid quarterback. He impressed me again. I mean, he had a bad interception, but it happens when you're a young quarterback. But honestly, the Georgia rushing offense, crazy. 300 yards rushing, along with 311 yards passing total. It was great. And I'm happy that Brock Bowers is also back for Georgia. I thought he was going to be out for a while, but he comes back early. He comes back early and he helps Georgia win. He added a touchdown as well. So honestly, I don't think Georgia's going to lose for the rest of the year. I mean, it was some questions, but they made a big statement with his win over Ole Miss at home with his dominance. So we got to keep it going for Georgia. I don't think they're going to lose for the rest of the year. All right, on to the next one. We got a Pac-12 showdown as Washington, they defeated Utah 35-28.
I'm going to be honest. I feel like I kind of got exactly what I wanted out of this game. Hard-fought game by Utah. I knew Washington was going to be on top, but Utah's always going to fight, especially they're ranked for a reason. Their defense is known to be that great. I mean, they let up 35 points, but the defense actually didn't play as bad. I'm going to be honest with you. This is just a really, really, really good offense, and that's just the truth to be told. I mean, Roman Donze, he goes out there and does exactly what he's supposed to do. Michael Penix goes out there and does exactly what he's supposed to do. You even got 100 yards from your running back, Dylan Johnson. I mean, Washington, bro, this offense has been rolling all year, and they continue to roll. Utah, they've just been trying to stick in fights, bro, and I really do respect this team, man. They have a pretty scrappy team, even with all the injuries that they've been having. They've been finding themselves in these big-time fights and almost coming away with a lot of these wins. Man, I just hats off to Utah, bro. They fought a good game in this one.
Washington just pretty much came out. They played decent in the first half. Their defense didn't really have a good first half. Utah put up 28 points in the first half. But in the second half, they defense showed up and blinked them in the second half. That was really the difference. And when it came down to, winning time and making a place to win, I mean, I didn't really trust Bryson Barnes to get it done. He threw 2 interceptions in the second half. That's just not a recipe to get it done. Michael Penix went for 332, 2 tutties. Dylan Johnson had him another good game, over 100 yards rushing on the ground and a touchdown. This Washington team went out, handled business at home against a very scrappy Utah team. Bryson Barnes had a good first half, not a good second half, and that's pretty much where this game lied and why they couldn't get the job done and get the upset at Washington.
Too much to say because you already pretty much said what I was going to say. Utah's a very scrappy team. They just folded in the second half, especially with the turnovers by Bryson Barnes. But Washington, again, like I said earlier, they get another close win against a Pac-12 team. And honestly, they handle business at home. Especially Roman Dunze, he's helping out Michael Penix Jr. greatly this year. He had over 100 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. Washington, it's going to be tough for them to honestly get in the playoffs. They're ranked number 5 right now, but if they keep having these close wins and they mess around and lose against Oregon in the Pac-12 championship, who knows what's going to happen? But at the end of the day, they're still undefeated. They're still ranked in the top 5. Who knows going forward what can happen with Washington? But again, this is another close win. We know Utah's a scrappy defensive team, but Washington, again, they just took care of business in Tacoma and they held on for the win. SEC matchup as the Tennessee Volunteers, they lost to the Mizzou Tigers 36-7.
Man, I had originally said that this was probably going to be the game of the day. I lied. Tennessee played like shit. Mizzou pretty much just ran all over them. The Cody Schrader show. I don't know who Cody Schrader is, man. He's very underrated. He's one of the players that's not really talked about. He's a D2 transfer out of Truman State, and he's been balling all year for these Missouri Tigers, bro. I've been talking about, Luther Burden a lot and the quarterback Brady Cook, but I haven't really talked too much about Cody Schrader. He is a baller, bro. He gave you 205 yards on the ground and then gave you over 100 yards receiving. I mean, he could really do it all. He's a workhorse back. He has over 1,100 yards in the season already. Bro, this kid, he has another year of eligibility at Mizzou. Who knows if he even takes it with the season he's having right now. He might just declare right after the season. Who knows? If he does, I'd love to see him playing in college football again because he's going to ball out. But on the Tennessee side, bro, they just played bad, bro. They just didn't play good on defense at all. Their offense couldn't get too much going receiving wise. They had just over 200 yards.
What happened to the Joe Milton fan club?
I was about to
Chill,
say it. I was about to say
chill.
you took the words out of my
Just Joe
mouth.
Milton
Chill,
fan club,
chill,
bro. What
chill, bro.
happened?
I said this a
I'm
million times, bro. Okay, I seen Joe Milton's not that guy. I know,
okay.
bro.
Okay, I
He's
just want to make
not.
sure I heard it. I just want to make sure I heard it.
Uh,
I just want to make sure I heard it. I
I
just want to
get
make sure I
it,
heard
bro.
it.
I said it, bro. He's really
Okay, I
not
just want to make
that
sure I heard it.
guy.
My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad.
You know why he's not that guy? Y'all want to know why he's not that guy? Y'all want to know why? Because he came from Michigan. That's why he's not that guy. That's exactly why he's not that guy. Because he came from Michigan. But like I was saying, bro,
He was
Irrelevant.
yeah,
he was
he's
on his
not that
fan club
guy.
just a couple weeks ago. Damn. You see how they switch up on you real quick?
Yeah, Joe Milton. Come on, man. You
He's
gotta be
not that
better.
guy. He's not that guy. But man, just a good dominant win by Mizzou. I like this team all year, and I just feel like they deserve a lot more talk.
I mean, kind of mentioned already, it was the Cody Schrader show. He had over 300 yards of total offense, 205 rushing yards on the ground, another 116 through the air. So he was just, killing Tennessee. They couldn't stop him from doing anything he wanted to do. Luther Burden, one of the best receivers in the nation, really didn't have a big game, but he didn't have to. Brady Cook played solid, 275, one touchdown, one interception. But that Tennessee offense just looked terrible. They couldn't get nothing going on the ground. 23 carries for only 83 total yards. It's not going to get it done. Joe Milton, 267, one touchdown, one interception. It doesn't look bad, but that offense couldn't score any points at the end of the day. Mizzou, besides that one touchdown that they gave up, pretty much blanked them. They controlled this whole game from start to finish, in my opinion. He took care of business at home coming off that loss to Georgia. And now Tennessee has Georgia coming up next week. So we're gonna see how that one shakes out. But it was just a very lackluster showing from Dennis's boy Joe Milton and that Tennessee offense. They have to
Yo,
be better,
chill, bro.
especially if they want to have a chance to win next week against Georgia at home. So we're gonna see how that goes. But good win by Mizzou. They're 8-2. Very scrappy team.
This is more on Tennessee just being bad than pretty much just Mizzou dominating them. This is really, really bad on Tennessee. I mean, it was a Corey Schrader show for sure. Brady Cook had an efficient game as well, besides that one pick. But turnovers are a part of the game. But Tennessee just looked absolutely abysmal. And it's like, bro, what was that? And this is supposed to be a great game, but it was just a blowout. Like, honestly, really, what was that? And y'all mentioned, I mean, Luther Burden had a quiet game, but he also had a touchdown. But at the end of the day, Corey Schrader just stole a show for Missouri. They're going to be a team to reckon with if they bring back Corey Schrader for another year and Luther Burden as well. We'll see how the team go moving forward. But just Joe Milton, I never really thought he was a guy. I thought he was like a middle of the pack quarterback in college football. And he kind of showed me that I was right. But honestly, this is just a bad overall game by Tennessee more than it was a great game for the Missouri Tigers. But at the end of the day, good win by Mizzou. Complete dominance. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for college football week 11. Let us know in the comment section what y'all thought about the games that we picked and y'all reactions to them. If there's any game that we did not mention that you think we should react to or give our opinions on, leave that in the comment section as well. Also, let us know how y'all think week 12 will be for college football. The season's almost over, but give us y'all opinions and comments down below in the comment section. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the third topic of the night, we're going to get into it. Bless you. UFC 295 occurred this Saturday. It was a very, very short main card, but we still going to talk about it, honestly. Let's get into it. First fight of the main card, we're going to talk about in the featherweight division. We saw Diego Lopez defeated Pat Sabatini via first round TKO.
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of like, I picked Pat Sabatini to win. It was a little biasness. He is from, I think, Ben Salem. So, I kind of support him. He's not too far from where I'm from. So I was kind of been supporting him. I've been on his side. But, quick finish. Yeah, he got caught with a punch, put him down. Pretty much at the end of the fight. It was a very quick fight. Only lasted a minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, this fight wasn't that long. It was really quick. But I honestly, this fight, I thought it was going to go to the distance, but it didn't. Diego Lopez with some punches put him away early. The fight was really, really short, as like Khalil said, so it's nothing really too much to take away from this fight.
Yeah, both of y'all had it on the head, man. Yeah, ain't nothing more to really say, bro. He went out there and he just knocked him out. Plain and simple. It took him a minute and 30 seconds to do it. Boom. Y'all watched it. Y'all seen it happen.
Moving on into the next fight in lightweight division, we saw Benoit Saint Denis defeat Matt Frivola via first round TKO.
I'm gonna lie, I've been high on Benoit Saint Denis when you look at what he's been doing since he's joined
nice.
the UFC. He lost his first fight. After that first fight, he's had 5 straight finishes, 2 submissions, 2 knockouts. He's definitely a guy you got to pay attention to in that 170 division. He's one of those young, talented guys. that, if you don't know who he is, you're gonna find out real soon. It's time to, start bumping up that competition a little bit. Let's see if he is legit, if he's one of those guys that can, be in that top 15 in that 170 division. So I had him winning it. It was a good win by him. Good showing. Keep being dominant. He's just been kept being dominant.
Yeah, honestly, after that first loss he took, he just poured it on, and he's been doing really good in this division. I agree with you, Khalil. Let's give him some comp because, I mean, he's on a 13 win streak. Let's see if he can keep it going. Give him some comp, Dana. Let's see. It's a lot of comp in that division in lightweights. But honestly, this fight was another short fight. It only lasted a minute and 31 seconds. Nothing too much to take away. Just overall, good win, good finish by Benoit.
Like I said, bro, I mean, give this guy some comp, bro. He goes in there and he's in a 13 fight win streak. He's placed where he's placed in the main card right now for a reason. Just keep moving him up. Quick question to both of y'all. How far up do you guys think he could go in this lightweight division?
I think it's time to throw him in the fire. Let's see what he can do in that vaunted lightweight division. That's probably the best division in all of UFC. But it's not easy to get in that top 10 club. It's very hard to get in there, and it's very hard to stay in there. So we got to see about that. But let's see where he is. Let's see, throw him against top 15 guy, and let's see if he's up with one of them, or is he just one of these guys who could beat bad people and not get it done against the better people. Let's see.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Let's get him against some comp, some top 15 talent. It's a lot of people in this division. Like Khalil said, this is probably the best division in UFC. So is it that he's beating on bad guys, or can we give him some comp and see how he faces them? But I agree with you for sure, Khalil. All right, on to the next one. We saw in the women's strawweight division, Jessica Andrade made her comeback. She defeated Mackenzie Dern in second round submission.
Yeah, she got her first win in 4 fights, win that was much needed. But when you look at these two women, if you're really in tune with UFC, you know these are two women who has talent but just can't get over the hump against better competition. And that's just what this fight was. I like Jessica Andrade, I like Mackenzie Dern as fighters, but they just can't get it done against the more skilled fighters in that division. But this was a much needed win for Jessica Andrade. Like I mentioned before, she was on a 3-fight skid, but she's electric. As you can see, she has power in her hands, and that's always been there to show. It's just putting together a well-rounded fight has been her issue against when you can't put them out. Being able to put all the skills that you have together to get the win. She got the knockout in this one, so this was a good win, very much needed win for her.
Jessica Andrade has been fighting a lot this year in 2023. I mean, she's had 5 fights so far this year. I mean, the last time she won the fight was in January this year. She defeated Murphy. But honestly, this win against Mackenzie Dern was much needed. Like you said, man, she was on a 3-fight lose streak. She lost Tatiana Suarez, Zionion, and then she also lost to Blanchfield. So definitely defeating Mackenzie Dern was essential for her. But honestly, Mackenzie Dern, I expected more from this. I didn't really see her losing this fight. I thought she was going to kind of wash Jessica Andrade, but that's my fault for disrespecting Jessica Andrade. I mean, she's a vet in this business. But again, I'm happy that Jessica Andrade finally put it together and got a win.
Just like y'all, bro, I'm happy to see her come back and get a win after not having her last win since the January of this year. So, I mean, when you're going to fight 5 fights, in 1 year, you're going to want to go out the year with a bang, and that's exactly what she did. I mean, she went out with the TKO. That's exactly what you needed to do. I'm pretty sure I took her in this. I don't even remember. I got to look back at my notes, but I'm pretty sure I took her in this. But yeah, it was a good win by her. Definitely well needed.
On to the next fight of the main card, a new interim heavyweight champion. As Tom Espinal defied all the odds, he defeated Sergey Pavlovich via first round TKO.
I mean, if anybody bet this fight to go over, it was foolish, to be honest with you. When you look at the landscape of what we had coming into this fight, you had Sergey Pavlovich, who was on a 6-fight win streak, all first-round knockouts, against Tom Aspinall, who won 10 of his last 11, his one loss being in a fight that he got injured in. He essentially finished all those fights besides one. He finished in the second round on a submission. So this fight wasn't going to last long. It was going to be fireworks. Who could get, that shot off first and, put the other one out. And in this one, it just happened to be Tom Aspinall. When you look at what Tom Aspinall been doing, he's been putting together a pretty good resume. He was hot until he got injured in the Curtis Blade fight last July. But, right before that, he had submitted Volkov in the first round. He had knocked out Spivak in the first round. And, he come back out, he knocks out Tabor in the first round and, comes out here and knocks out Sergey Pavlovich. So this is a young guy that's been on a come up that we've been seeing for a while on a come up. And, he has the interim belt now. I don't know what that means because they still want to make John Jones versus Stipe for the heavyweight title whenever John Jones comes back from injury. Don't know. I would love to see. I'm not going to lie. Put him in there with Ciryl Gane. I think Ciryl Gane is the real.
That's gonna be good.
Real test. When you look at what Ciryl Gane has been doing in the heavyweight division, he's essentially taking care of everybody besides Francis Ngannou and John Jones, and it hasn't been close. If we want to be honest with Ciryl Gane, so I would love to see that fight happen. I would love to see that fight happen. I think that's the real test. I think that's going to show us who's next in line to run this division once John Jones hangs it up.
I was so happy seeing this fight, man. I'm not gonna lie. Sergi, me and Dennis talked about this. Sergi's a huge dude. Like, I was like, man, he looks like Wreck-It Ralph, like times 20. Like, he looks like he just goes there and just beats up on people. And we know the last handful of fights he's had, they all been first round knockouts, like you said. But Tom Espinal, he came in here in this fight. But looking at it, he looked like the underdog, personally. But once he got that win, I was just so happy for him. I couldn't be nothing more than ecstatic for Tom Espinal. And honestly, Khalil, I agree with you. I think Ciryl Gane is going to be a good fight if Dana White books it for the interim championship. That's how we saw Ciryl Gane. I mean, he won his last fight, but prior to that, he lost to John Jones, and then he couldn't get over the hump with Francis Ngannou. That was for the heavyweight championship. Honestly, who knows? I honestly think that Dana should book this fight between Ciryl Gane and Tom Espinal for the championship because after John Jones-Stipe fight, I think John Jones is going to hang it up. I think Stipe's going to hang it up as well. Again, it sucks that they didn't fight in this event. It was supposed to happen for the heavyweight championship with John Jones and Stipe. But at the end of the day, we're talking about Tom Espinal and his big win. So congrats to him.
Man, same thing like I said, bro. Congrats to Tom Espinal. We said it, Dave. We said it last cast. Somebody was going to get knocked out. I picked Sergi to do the knocking out, but Tom Espinal really came out there and he did what he's been doing for the last 10 fights, 10 out of 11, like you said, Lil. And, bro, yeah, throw him in a bigger fight, bro. Do it, bro. I liked what I've seen out this guy. Do it, bro. He got some upside. I really want to see him fight somebody that's better. And Sergi's like that too. But let's up the comp. Let's up the comp for him.
For sure.
So I got a question for y'all. Do y'all think Tom Aspinall is gonna be the guy once John Jones leave, or do you think it's going to be Ciryl Gane, Jolton Almeida? Who you guys think is that next guy to take the reins?
Honestly, I do not know. But as right now, I'm going to say Ciryl Gane. And when John Jones and Stipe lead his division, I think Ciryl Gane is going to run it, but it's not him and Tom Aspinall for sure. But I think Sergi's probably going to get a rematch with Tom. But if Sergi loses again, I mean, honestly, who knows? You mentioned Almeida as well. But this division, it's not really too much going on. It's kind of top heavy. But I think Ciryl Gane can run this division if he gets the belt.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you. He got to beat Ciryl Gane to honestly say that he's running this division after John Jones leave. We know how all three of us feel the same about John Jones. We know what's up. But Ciryl Gane is in that second place for a reason. He's got the chance to do it. But he gotta beat him, bro. He just gotta beat Ciryl Gane. He already took down Sergi, so if he beats Ciryl Gane, then yeah, honestly, I could say that he will beat Lil, but that fight is yet to come yet. We gotta see it, and it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I'm right there with y'all. I think right now, besides people not named John Jones and Stipe Miocic and stuff like that, I think Ciryl Gane is pretty much the standard when you look at what he's done and who he's done against. He's essentially taking care of everybody that they put in front of him besides Francis Ngannou and John Jones. So until I see somebody give him problems, and I think the one who can give him the biggest problems is probably Jolton Almeida because of his grappling skills. But when we talk about standing on the feet, kickboxing, Ciryl Gane is up there with the best of them when you look at it from that standpoint.
Honestly. All right, on to the main event. We got a new light heavyweight champion as Alex Pereira. He defeated Yuri Prochazka via second round TKO to claim the light heavyweight championship belt. Man, what do y'all think about this one?
Yeah, this was a very interesting fight. When you look at the landscape, you have Alex Pereira, who's been hot since he joined the UFC. Only one to beat him is Israel Adesanya by knockout. But you're facing a Yuri Prochazka who's been out of the octagon for over a year, and you could kind of see it. He kind of had octagon rust a little bit. He was still trying to figure out. He was trying to get himself back into the groove of things. But Alex Pereira, packs power to knock anybody out, and he put Yuri out. I don't think it was an early stoppage when you look at it. Yuri looked like he was out when he was getting hit with the elbows. I would have called it too. He came out and said it wasn't an early stoppage. He was out as well. So hats off to Alex Pereira moving up. Within the year, winning the middleweight championship, then winning the light heavyweight championship, both at MSG. MSG may be his place to fight now. So hats off to him for a big dub against the former champion Yuri Prochazka.
Honestly, let's just get this out the way now. That was not an early stoppage. Khalil, you are absolutely correct. A lot of people were in rage on social media saying early stoppage. But no, Yuri came out interview at post-fight conference, said, no, I was out. So I'm glad you clarified that in the beginning, Khalil. But let's talk about Alex Pereira. I mean, you mentioned he won the middleweight championship and he moved up to light heavyweight. I mean, he did kind of get thrown in it. I mean, I don't know if Israel Adesanya is calling it the Dana White treatment. But let's be real. I mean, he beat Jan Blachowicz, and then he goes and beats Yuri after Yuri comes back after a shoulder surgery after taking over a year off of MMA. So this is really great by Alex Pereira. And I predicted he's going to win this fight anyway. But honestly, winning a division in two different divisions, it's only been done a couple of times. And now he cemented his name and amongst the UFC greats. So, hey, honestly, I'm happy for Alex Pereira. But I got a question for y'all after Dennis goes.
I'll make it quick so you can get to your question. Like I said last cast, bro, Alex Pereira, he's coming to be one of my favorite fighters in the UFC right now. Bro, he just puts on a show. We seen the shows that he put on against Adesanya. He's one of the only people to actually beat Adesanya, and then Adesanya whooped him the second time, but we know what happens with that. But I mean, to go out there and see him do what he did, that just it made me happy, bro, to see him go out there and defeat Yuri. And yes, it was not a early stoppage. And like I said, Yuri said it himself, it was not an early stoppage. So all the rage can stop. Y'all heard it from the man himself. So, I mean, yeah, bro, congrats to Alex Pereira. I can't wait to see what's ahead for him.
So that's my question right now. I mean, we saw in his post-fight in the octagon, his interview with Rogan after he won the belt, he told Israel Adesanya pretty much move up to light heavyweight. He said, come to daddy. And he's calling Izzy. Dino, you already said it. What's next for him? What's next for Alex Pereira? Do y'all think Izzy's gonna move up to light heavyweight and fight Pereira again? I feel like Pereira is rent free in Izzy's head. Izzy just can't escape him.
I wouldn't say he's living rent free in Izzy's head. If anything,
yeah.
They're both in each other's head. He needed Izzy just said he's about to take a break. He needed to call him out, but he decided to do it anyway. I don't see Izzy moving up right now in the near future to 205 to fight. I think Johnny Walker and Magomed Ankalaev just got rescheduled for beginning of January, a 5-round fight. I think that could potentially be a number one contender fight. And then Alex faces the winner of that sometime in 2024. As well as I think that's going to line it straight right up for Jamal Hill to come back towards the end of 2024 if he recovers right. I think that's pretty much how this division is going to be. I think that's the landscape of the division. When you look at it, Yuri's going to have to, get back in there, put a couple wins together before he gets that shot again. Jan Blachowicz as well. He's getting up there in age, so you don't know how much longer he's going to be doing this. Alexander Rachel just hasn't gotten over the hump yet. So I think that's how this division is going to play out in the near future in 2024.
I mean, honestly, Lil, I can say the same thing, to be honest. When you look at moving forward, who he hasn't fought compared to who's moving up, and you mentioned him, Johnny Walker is another one who's moving on up in the rankings. And if he keeps going, I mean, yeah, he could be matched up against Alex Pereira in the future. On top of that, like you said, Jamal Hill gets healthy. They still haven't fought yet. And, he's the reigning champion from fights ago before he was hurt. So who knows if he wants to jump back in there? Who knows if Dana actually lets him? Dana's probably going to give him a main card when he first comes back. But who knows? He might jump back into that conversation where he's fighting for the belt again. I feel like Alex Pereira, he's in a good position right now where he's standing. but it's gonna be a lot of people gunning. It's gonna be a lot of people gunning. You got people coming back from injury. You got people coming up the rankings. It's gonna be a fun one in 2024.
It is, man. Honestly, and I'm happy you mentioned Jan Blachowicz. I mean, because he just got pretty much he called out Alex Pereira after Pereira won. He pretty much called Pereira a coward for calling on Izzy, knowing Izzy's gonna take a year off, and he thinks that he beat Pereira when they fought earlier this year. But I mean, people think differently. I think Pereira did beat Jan. But at the end of the day, like you just said, this division is gonna be really fun to watch in the years coming, especially when Jamal Hill get back from injury. And then whenever Muhammad Ankalaev and Johnny Walker settle their differences come 2024, this division got fireworks. But as of right now, we got a new light heavyweight king, and his name is Alex Pereira. But ladies and gentlemen, let us know what y'all think about UFC 295. Give us y'all comments and opinions below about the short main card that occurred this weekend. It wasn't nothing too crazy, but I mean, no fight went past second round. But give us your thoughts and opinions about that main event. All right, last topic of the night. Let's talk about Mr. James Harden and these Los Angeles Clippers. James Harden was recently traded to the Los Angeles Clippers earlier this year. I mean, he's been begging to go there since during the offseason after the Sixers lost in the playoffs. And the Clippers have not looked too hot at all. Is James Harden actually the system? Yes or no? And then what do y'all think is the issue within the Los Angeles Clippers since James Harden has arrived? Now, we saw James Harden last year. He kind of took a backseat to Joel Embiid. I mean, Harden still averaged a little bit over 20 and over 10 assists. But honestly, was he the problem in Philadelphia? In my opinion, he folded when it matters. We've seen it in the playoffs in Game 6 and Game 7. I mean, at the end of Game 6, and it's definitely in Game 7, he was a no-show, him and Joel Embiid. But I wouldn't say he was 100% the problem in Philadelphia. He played his role perfectly in Philadelphia. But him trying to get out of Philadelphia, we all said this in our earlier episodes in the podcast, the best situation is for James Harden to stay in Philadelphia. He wanted out, and now he got what he wanted. He's playing with Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and Kawhi Leonard. I don't think Harden fits with all three of the players as well. Those are four dominant players. I mean, they don't all at this point in their career. Westbrook don't really demand the ball in his hand. Neither does James Harden, but Kawhi and PG kind of do. But besides, I just don't get it. I don't get it. James Harden, he comes out and says, "I'm the system." No, he's not the system. He's a part of a flawed system right now. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers trade James Harden come the trade deadline if the Clippers keep doing bad. That's just my opinion. I don't think this is the right scheme or team for James Harden. I think he's going to be back home in LA. He got what he wanted, but it's not panning out well at all whatsoever for James Harden.
When we really look at things, it looks like James Harden was a problem. The Sixers got the best record in the league, the number one in the most recent power ranking. They're 8-1, I believe. Maxi's been balling, and B's been balling. I can tell you right now, Philly don't miss James Harden at all. And then when you look at it on the other hand, you got a Clippers team that's just trying to figure it out. Honestly, when you look at it, you got two star players in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. You got James Harden. He's trying to figure out when is it his turn to go, when should he take a step back, let the stars shine, whatever the case may be. You got Russ, who's still trying to figure out like what's his place on this team. I think it's just a maturation process that just has to happen with this team before we could give a real opinion on what this team can be. Like I said, it's kind of it's not easy just to insert stars into the game and then think it's just going to click off the end. Right now, James Harden is averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. That's usually not what James Harden is used to, especially assist wise. He's used to having the ball in his hands more. So it's an adjustment for everybody. I think they got to figure out. Do I think the Clippers are a team I'm scared of? No, I don't think, come April, May, June, I'm scared of this team at all. But when you look at who they play, I mean, when we talk about who they play, Luka, I mean, he gives it to him every time. It doesn't matter. I don't know what it is with the Clippers, but he got an endeavor with the Clippers.
He tears them up.
I don't know what it is, boy. He just don't like the Clippers at all. They had a bad loss to the Grizzlies, a Grizzly team that's been struggling this year without John Morant. Then you go on the road twice with 2 games in New York, lose both of those. Like that just can't happen. I think they'd be better than what they are now, but I don't think they're a contending team, in my opinion.
I'm definitely gonna agree with that last statement. They're not a contending team at all. Just to kind of piggy off of what you said, Lil, I want to cross Russell Westbrook out that conversation. Westbrook found what position he is on his team, and I feel like he played it pretty well. They kept the ball out of his hands last year. They let him crash the board and be athletic. And I feel like that's where he is in the stage of his career right now. And if he continues to do that on his team, they'll be great. Now, as far as the other players, I mean, it's regular Harden. It's regular James Harden, bro. He goes to a new place. He starts complaining. It's always an issue with something. He gets a slow start. This isn't nothing new. This is regular James Harden that he's been doing. You gotta think. He went to Houston. He was at Houston. They gave him what he wanted in Houston. He still complained. He still had a problem. He thought that he was gonna be the superstar at the Nets. He went to the Nets. He got there. They brought in Ben Simmons for him. He still complained. It wasn't the place. He ended up getting out of there. He goes to Philly. Does the same exact thing, bro. This is a reoccurring thing. This ain't nothing new with James Harden, bro. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I agree with what you said. I could see James Harden getting traded by the end of this deadline. The whole thing about it is where it goes back to the question before the season. Where is he gonna go?
We said this. We don't know.
Like, this is if you ask me, this is the last stop for him, bro. It's the last stop.
James Harden's not getting traded. Nobody's trading for James Harden. So y'all
that's what I'm saying. Like,
where
is he gonna go?
But you got
where's he gonna go? Like, what are you gonna do?
It's only been
pay that man out and cut him then. Like, what? Like,
I
don't get it.
Y'all overreacting. I think y'all overreacting just a little bit. It's only been 4 games. Like, stuff doesn't click that fast, especially when you're trying to figure out when star players who turn is it. I think they get to figure it out. Like I said, I don't think they're going to be a playoff team or anything like that. But it's only been 4 games, so like, let's pump the brakes.
Right, but the talking, bro. If only he knew that. If only he knew it's only been 4 games.
Yeah, I didn't say they were going to do bad. I said if they're going to continue to do bad. I didn't say they were going to do bad. I said if they continue to do bad, I can see him being the first man out. It's not going to be Westbrook. I mean, at least, as much as I think Russell Westbrook, I think he's past his prime. I don't think Westbrook's that good anymore. I think
Westbrook only made $3 million.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's taking his money and he's running with it. He knows. I mean, he just turned 35. He knows his role with his team, like Dennis said. Not gonna be Kawhi. Not gonna be PG. Harden, Kawhi, and PG all injury prone, and they all like they don't mesh well together. I don't see the Clippers team. I mean, they're gonna fight for a playing spot, in my opinion.
I mean, at the end of the day, too, as well, like, all these players are in a contract year, too. So it's just like they got to get something figured out because, like I said, it's the contract year for every single one of these players besides Russ. I think he got 1 more year. I think he signed 2 years, $6 million. But for the rest of them, it's time to do something. Steve Ballmer wants to win now. They're moving into a new stadium next year, so they have to do something.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of episode 30 for Before the Horn podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in for whatever platform you guys are watching or listening on. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for keep running these numbers up, man. Our last episode did great. We're going to continue to try to bring guests on in the near future as well, especially with me probably taking an absence from this podcast soon due to traveling and vacation and seeing my family. Again, keep running these numbers up. We love y'all interact with us. Make sure y'all interacting with all us on our socials. And thank y'all for tuning in.
Man, like y'all know, in order for y'all to do y'all best part in supporting us, best way to do that is through our Patreon. Like I said before, we are regular guys. We just work regular 9 to 5s. We take out of our free time to bring y'all this content. So helping us on our Patreon is the best way to go. Also, if you want to connect with us personally, Patreon is the best way to go. We will be dropping merch soon, some hats, some shirts. Patreon is the best way to get some discounts and some free merch. On top of that, I will be dropping a Discord soon. Said it a couple episodes ago. I will be having a Discord that will be connected to our Patreon. So if we're gonna come in there and talk sports, we're gonna have sports betting. We're gonna have just conversations in general about sports. We're gonna have questions in there, question and answers. Anything you guys want to have on the podcast, we will do some question and answers in there, and we will have them on the podcast too. So join our Patreon, come support us. But as regular, we do appreciate all support that we get.
Sir, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Before the Horn Podcast, TikTok and Twitter at Before the Horn Pod. We definitely gonna have some more stuff rolling out. We definitely gonna have a few more guests on. We had a guest on last week when I wasn't here, so be on the lookout for that. If you want to be a guest on the show, let us know. We definitely consider you. We love the energy that different people bring to us. So just keep showing love, keep sharing, keep telling people. Tell your mom, your dad, your cat, your dog, your cousin, uncle, brother, whatever. Tune in, watch us. We appreciate all the love and support we've been getting.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you guys also follow us on our personal Instagrams. Run these numbers up. Thank y'all for tuning in to Before the Horn podcast, episode 30. We shall see y'all on Friday. Peace.